They were
There you
bouncing.
go. Good morning and welcome to the bouncing.
Bouncing.
We're going to lead a song. Is that what we're going to do this morning? We're talking about Christmas and you're going to lead a song and we're going to have the bouncing ball.
I'm about halfway here this morning. We went with the bell guards last night from Natchitoches to the
You seem to
Christmas
be on
lights.
here.
I know. The Christmas lights in Natchitoches, it's a wonderful thing somebody needs to go to one time. And
I'm going to go back.
to go. But like on the opening night, they have like the fireworks, you know, and I'm sure a lot of people have gone there. And we were all I've never been there before. And there's like 8 million people in 2 square blocks, you know. And they said when you got back on the news last night that it had rained, you know, it was kind of wet and damp, and they had cut the crowd back this year. And I'm sitting there going, they cut the crowd back. But it was real nice, you know. It's real neat to go do things.
So what time are the fireworks?
There was only one time a year that it
I
fireworks.
know, but what time of the night?
It was 6:30.
Oh, okay. Well, I see. I thought y'all would say to 10 or 11 o'clock.
Well, it was early getting home, but it felt like.
You know what? That's a sign of it. We're going to say tomorrow. But we are going to be talking about Christmas this morning. We're so glad to have our guest with us. We have Lieutenant Ed Roberts from the CPD. But his title is not, we're not going to refer to that. He's going to be here representing Santa Rides a Motorcycle. We're glad you're with us, Ed. And we have John Snider, who's with Shelby County Savings, but Shelby County Bank, but we're not going to think about that because he's with here representing the Lions Club and their endeavors that they participate in Christmas. And how long have we been having the program Santa Rides a Motorcycle in Central?
A long time.
A long time. But it has been some years.
10 or 12 or 14 years, somewhere in there.
And it continues to grow.
Now, what exactly does it do now for folks like that are not familiar with it? What is Santa Rides a Motorcycle?
Basically, the way this started is a couple of us got together and cleaned out our closets and delivered to a few kids that we knew about.
Right.
And then we started getting letters from people who knew of other kids. And then it really mushroomed into a lot of other organizations helping with us. This year, the Shelby County Bass Club worked all year long on this thing.
Wonderful.
Monaco Motors, along with a radio station, started a food drive, Kicks radio station, and it's turned into food and toys now. And Mr. Wink's restaurant is also a collection point there. And then people like Gaddy's Ambulance Service, they and their employees kind of watch and make sure I don't get behind. If I start getting behind, they volunteer their time to help deliver toys, and they're a collection point, and they do a thing with gathering jackets and coats for kids too.
I tell you, there's only one thing that kind of troubles me about that. You say you started out working out of your closet. Either some kids got some strange toys that first year, or you got a weird closet that you
Actually, it was my kids' closet. A few of the toys were mine also.
A few of them too, but we're not still in the closet, isn't there?
Exactly. So you do get some help then. You're not running all over the county. And it is actually county, is it not?
Yeah, it's the county, and I get a lot of help. I guess basically what I do is coordinate it. I used to try to think that I organized it, but everybody else is helping me with that also. So.
Okay, so what can people do if they would like to contribute things? Carry it to the different merchants you've mentioned? Just
Yes.
any toys, or what are you looking for? What do you want?
Just good usable toys or new toys.
Okay, you don't want repairable things. You
No,
want
you don't
usable
have
things.
time to do that.
Right.
We have several people that donate money, and then we buy the toys.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, any money that's donated, we spend right here in the county. I never look for numbers, but it keeps growing and growing, and I think our best year was like 654 children.
It's a lot of kids.
And it looks like it could be that big this year.
Also, if there's someone that knows of someone with a need, what will they need to do?
They can write to me at 104 Park Hill Lane. My address is in the phone book. They can write to Gaddy's Ambulance Service. They also collect letters there and keep them filed for me.
Do you suppose if someone wrote Santa Rides a Motorcycle that you might get it? Have you ever gotten anything like
I
that?
receive a lot of letters addressed to Santa Claus
Okay.
in my house.
Okay.
That's pretty neat. We found him.
Coffee Shop. It's the program that we have. Of course, the Lions Club for any number of years, I'm sure we couldn't even number it either, that you've been doing projects at Christmas. And tell us what the Lions Club do, John.
Well, the primary project is food baskets. And what we do is work through the Department of Human Resources and the schools to determine or get a list of people in need. And then we work with one of the local grocery stores and put together food baskets. And we really have 3 different baskets that we put together. One for 2 people, and generally when you see that, it's going to be 2 older people. Then one for a small family, either 1 or 2 adults and a couple of children, and then one for families that are larger, 2 or more adults, 3, 4 children. And we have them arranged in that manner. And we get together, it's always the Sunday before Christmas. This year will be the 18th. And early that morning, we'll be at the grocery store getting everything bagged up, sorted according to the different size baskets. And then after lunch, we come back and make deliveries that afternoon.
That probably was a real good thing when y'all started doing that, breaking that up into size families, because it was that way you were able to give the larger families more, and yet the smaller families didn't need that amount. So that's really a full-day project for the Lions Club.
It is. Well, it's a full day that day, but then there's a number of people that are working long in advance. For a long time, Buster Bounds headed that project up, and this year we're giving Buster some relief and changing things up a little bit. We try to be careful to evaluate the need, that we're meeting a need. And this year, Carl Smith and Wesley Welburn, 2 of our local pastors, are co-chairing the committee in seeking those that we will deliver to. And we're working through the area churches. And of course now they're working with our regular contacts, Department of Human Resources, schools, but also the needs that are known through the churches. And of course the biggest problem we have is coming up with more need than we can fill. And our problem is not so much financial, but it's the manpower to get things delivered. And one thing that's going to help us on that this year is the Texas Association of Future Educators at the high school. Pam Sanford's group is working with us, and they've started a food drive, and they will have food that they will add to what we purchase, and then they'll be working with us that Sunday delivering too.
Wonderful. That's really good to bring in the young people in the community.
John, how's that going to free up, the movement where it'll do a better job Sunday? I think you mentioned at the club this week, and that was a good speech this week. That bunch of guys, a bunch of guys at Lions Club are hard to kind of dense. But John, it was so complicated, nobody could ask me questions, and I think that made me
Well, what we're looking at is that they can help in 2 ways. Of course, well, really 3 with the food drive they're doing. But then that morning, we'll have a group there with us working as we put the baskets together. And then that afternoon, helping with the deliveries. And one thing we're looking at this year, seeing if we can incorporate it, that will allow us to expand some, that if some of the people would prefer to come pick the food up rather than us deliver, we're going to try to have a pickup point. But the key thing will be knowing which ones enough in advance to get it planned, but that's what we're going to try to do. And doing that, we thought that we would have some of the lines and some of the young people at the pickup point, which we're hoping will be the community center, and then the others helping deliver. But the delivery is the key thing that bogs us down. I think last year we did between 55 and 60 baskets, and when you're delivering all over Shelby County and some of how you get there is that long on a sheet of paper, turning at various mailboxes and everything, it really eats your time up as far as how broad an area you cover.
And you pray for dry roads that weekend.
And one thing the club did do the other day in the meeting, looking at the potential with the help that we're getting from this group at the high school, is if it looks like it's coming together where we can broaden and serve more, they expanded our budget this year where if toward the last we see we've got more need and it looks like we'll have the help to do it, then we can kick the budget up to get more food and expand it that way. So it'll probably be Thursday or Friday before that Sunday before we know the final number this year.
So after listening to both of you, we're going to be talking to some more people in a little while, there really shouldn't be anyone that doesn't have groceries on Christmas this year. We're hoping to catch those people that are falling through the net.
Now, it is, if they in advance, those will let it be known that they're going to be there. Now, they're going to change that last week.
That's
it
true, but
depends on
you know,
programs, you know.
the agencies that they're working through, we're trying to they're trying to touch all the bases in hopes that will not happen.
We usually start a couple of weeks before Christmas. Of course, we deliver every day for 2 weeks, especially the food, because sometimes we get things that are not, that won't stand much shelf life. And Optimus Club, for example, brings certificates, gift certificates for food to local merchants, and we deliver those. But like chicken and fruit and stuff, we try to get out of it as early as we can get it.
Right.
Well, too, that's so people can plan on and will know what they have,
Right.
and not be worried that they're not going to have something.
We usually, the last 3 years, every year it's turned out 105 food baskets we've delivered.
So that's a lot of, and it's amazing in a day and age where it's good to live in a county, in a city, in a county, that kind of concern is there. That just makes you feel good at Christmas. It's sad that many times you think, well, year round we ought to be doing it, sure, but there's just such a special thing at Christmas that I think people are concerned about that. And I appreciate you guys, and of course, for being involved in a community that does things like that. But
Shirley, back to your question. I think one way of kind of answering that, last year, the Lions Club for several years has been interested in working with other groups to try to coordinate something countywide. And last year we made another effort on that part, and the coordination worked well in obtaining names. But then something kind of fell through the cracks, and it wound up after we had the list of names, the Lions Club was left to handle it. And we had about twice what we could handle. And that literally broke some guys' hearts, having to work that list and pare it down. But we had no choice because we could not handle it at that size. So we would like to see a coordination countywide of working and coming together. And we think if we, down the road, if we could get that going, we could get a lot closer to the answer to your question being yes.
Instead of maybe one family being served twice and one family being missed.
And
By
some
the different
things like
agencies,
that, right. Or just the numbers being larger. We have knowledge of some more, but somebody else that maybe has some slack doesn't. But a coordination and with various types of needs. I know Ken Eels talked quite a bit about the program they had at Mineola. But you had food baskets, you had some contributing food, you had others contributing toys for the kids, dentists would put in toothbrushes, things along that coordinated together and then put it all together.
In this age of computers, it would be a simple thing. Well, not a simple. Simpler than used to writing out a list.
Robert's eyeballs are stretched against the glass window. It's time for the second half
For us
of the
to make
program.
our shift. We appreciate you guys coming.
Thank you all, and we appreciate, of course, and enjoyed being involved in the Lions Club. And Ed, your work here and also during the year helping the transit people that come through. We've talked about many times here. Appreciate your work, and it's unbelievable to find out where Santa Claus lives and who he is. Thank you all.
We don't want to confuse everybody that much.